Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And interestingly, my poor tech person, Morgan, is probably not going to catch that I'm live at the moment because it took me forever to figure out all these little details. So, let me explain who I am. I'm a clinical psychologist and holistic coach based in Appleton, Wisconsin. And for many of you, you are used to me streaming every day for over 10 years. It's probably more like 12 years on Facebook Live on my business page. And so Morgan, my tech person, major tech person, is getting me started doing good morning. Good morning. Abigail found me. Yay, fabulous. And now I can see how it indicates which platform I'm on. I put a little F for Facebook below Abigail. Love it. So let me explain Abigail. We are a group, the people who are on here every day on Facebook for 10 plus years are called my practical rebels. And I go live every day, pretty much every day. There's been very few misses. I think a surgery here and there, perhaps, but there's lots we talk about. Lots we talk about. So, how I pick a topic for today, like today's topic is let's talk housing. How I pick a topic is based on whatever's moving me at the moment. And yesterday I spent all day in Milwaukee at an amazing summit discussing housing. Much of it geared toward Milwaukee, but relevant for wherever. So, daily we pick a topic, whatever it is. We'll see what comes up. But let me talk housing a little bit. I'm challenging everybody who either watches this live or watches it after the fact to know your Alice number. What is an Alice number, you say? Alice is a measure of how well our households doing in terms of being able to remain households and not end up being among the people who are experiencing homelessness. Notice I use the word people there. Let's not call them the homeless because that's a great way to other. Yeah, because there for the grace of God can go any one of us. And in my area, the largest group of people experiencing new homelessness are elders, 65 plus. Yeah. So there's Carolyn. I see Carolyn. Fabulous. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you are here. So let's talk about this. Your ALICE number, ALICE, it means asset limited, income constrained, employed. So it's people who are working and not making enough money to make a go of it, really. So they're struggling with housing and they're making choices we don't want to see people have to make. Like they need to pick medication for the month, or they need to pick food, or they need to get the car repaired, or they can pay the rent. Those are not, they're working people, they're working hard, but they're not making it. So, Alice, I would love to know your state's Alice number. So, Google most recent ALICE number for Michigan or Washington State or Oregon, wherever you are. I want to know your Alice number. Put it in the feed. Let's see what we get. Put it in comments. There's comments here. So, this summit I was at yesterday, it was actually, I thought this was very, what word do I want to say? Community minded. Let's call it community minded. The woman who put on this summit, free summit, at no expense to any of us who attended, and there had to be 80 people there, I would say. It was a celebration of her business's 10 years in business. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm seeing that Abigail and Nancy are showing up well, and Carolyn is kind of, let's see if that does it. There's Carolyn. Okay, so I'll get this stuff figured out eventually. I have no idea what I'm doing, but Morgan will help me figure it out. So back to the summit. 80 people across all different organizations. It wasn't just those of us who are trying to build affordable housing. It was lenders, and it was legislators, and it was all manner of folks, and not just Wisconsinites either. There was an architect there from California, and she actually was a friend of the woman who was hosting this. But again, she put on this event as a celebration of her 10 years in business and her expansion of her business. She just brought on 2 new employees. Um, and it looks like I'm missing saying hi to one person because my number says 4 and I see 3 of you. So, hello to whoever else is here. I hope you're a newbie. That would be fabulous. Um, and you're going to have to get used to this. This is how I talk. So, I'll be chatting with you guys, and then I'll be telling you some content, and then I'll be chatting again, and then I'll be telling you some content. Hopefully, you can follow. That's just kind of how my brain works. Oh, look, shiny. Um, so I just thought it was fabulous. And actually, I'm going to name her business. Good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. Welcome. It's Hope Community Capital. Look her up. Carrie Sanders, Hope Community Capital. And I just thought, good morning, Maureen. You found me as well. You found me as well. Yes, not a newbie, not at all a newbie. So my regulars are popping in here. This is fabulous. Typically, by the end of the day, there's usually, I don't know, 150, 200 people who viewed a video. I'm hoping that by going broader like this, it helps more of you find me. And the reason I want to find you to find me is not an ego thing. I don't care what the number says, but I do care that the things I say get out there and get beyond my regular practical rebel group and into some new practical rebels, because change is afoot, people. Change is afoot. And I want to be a part of that change. I want to, like, having you know your Alice number. Having you know your Alice number. That is so important because people don't, most people, if you're in secure housing, you really don't understand what's going on with the housing market. I'll guarantee it. So my Alice number for Wisconsin, it's hovering right around 30%. So let me explain what that means. 1/3 of Wisconsin households are in a tenuous position of being able to stay in a house. Anything goes wrong, a car payment, a car repair needs to happen. Someone has a major illness that insurance isn't covering well. Um, Anything big like that, and all bets are off. All bets are off. So we need to shore things up here. And one of the ways we can shore things up is let's get more housing on the market. There are not enough houses, period. And of the houses that are there, most people can't afford to buy them, right? My son and his significant other have a house in Portland, Oregon, and I would call it a cottage. It was 450,000. So for people who are making, 12 bucks an hour, they're not going to be able to afford a house. So there's so many cool things coming down the pike as well. There, and many cities already have this. My city is working on this, but some down payment support funding. So many people, that's their big hangup. They could make the monthly payment, but they can't manage a 20% down payment. So programs to help support down payments. There are also the one I'm looking to create, and my practical rebels here are like, oh yeah, she's talking about it again. Because the more I talk about it, the more likely it is to manifest. I want to create an intentional community pocket neighborhood. So small homes, 800 to 1200 square feet, clustered together tightly, facing each other so it's community, working together to help lift everybody in the place up. Um, right now, I can't do that because my city's ordinances are not such that I would be allowed to do that. But we're working for change. We're working for change. For the however many people, if it's 8, 10, 12 homes, for the people who would live there, it would make a huge difference. a huge difference. For those of us who are of a certain age, we don't want stairs. I want a nice zero entry. I want something I don't want a gigantic lawn. I don't, all the things, right? And for young families, let's say it's a single parent with a kid or two, you get held over at work, your kids are getting off the bus, what do you do? In this circumstance, you call the little old lady next door and say, "Hey, can you get the kids off the bus?" Yes, and not only that, I can give them a snack and we can do their homework. That's what I want to create. So I talk about it as much as I can talk about it. So y'all, you got to hear about it. So this is our first live that's going across all these platforms, including two platforms that are brand new to me. I have an ask. Good morning, Joe Neal. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. I have an ask for all of you, especially those of you who are on LinkedIn. I'm on my LinkedIn private page, but I can't be on my LinkedIn business page until I get 150 followers. So those of you who have a LinkedIn profile, if you could go to my Empowerment Purpose Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum page, and whatever you do on LinkedIn, like, follow, friend, whatever it is, the lingo changes from platform to platform. I would be eternally grateful, because once I get to 150, then I can go live there and not have to now take this and bump it over there. So this is my foray into new tech. Hopefully you learned some things. The main thing I'd like you to take away from here is I need to know my Alice number, ALICE. I'd love to see some Alice numbers in the feeds on all these various platforms. So have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.